Bukka D'Atma is bloodied, and the joint is detached. Ball is pulled out of the socket, and the nevin are deteriorated. The nevin, once they're deteriorated, and the joint is pulled out of the socket, so it's safe. Here too, we work with safeguards. Once we see that it's out, and or if it's all bloodied over there, then again we don't inspect it. We just say it's safer. But who's to determine that? An experienced rov. But when you get your chicken at the top of the dark meat, you should look to see if the ball joint is pulled out of its socket. When the chicken is frozen and it's taken out of its, and then it's thawed, the ball joint just slips out of the socket. That's nothing. I'll show you the joint. Okay. I cut away the meat from the joint. This is the thigh bone. Here, this over here. This is the thigh bone. This is the socket that's in the spine, this bone. I could see ball inside the joint. I'll pull the whole thing out in a second, but just see how the ball is attached to the joint. Now, the chicken, like every creature in the world that has a ball joint, has a lot of tissue surrounding the ball joint, surrounding the two bones, and making sure they remain attached to each other. Here's some of the tissue. Here. There's tissue all over the place. Now, that's the joint called the Bukka D'Atma, inside the duchte. It keeps the two bones together, this bone and the spine. As I said, there's lots of tissue and tough tissue that holds the two bones together. That's called the nivim, according to one pshat, according to some Rishonim. The nivim are the strands of tissue surrounding the two bones, which keeps them from falling apart. Everyone has that. We have 4 ball joints in our body, just like the chicken. 2 that attach the arms to the body, and 2 that attach the legs to the body. The ball joint allows the parts, the arms and the legs, to move all over the place instead of just in one direction. Those are called lateral joints. Okay? Now, inside of the joint, exactly in the middle of the ball, there are a number of very tiny strands, and those are veins, arteries, and a nerve. In fact, there are 3. There's a vein, an artery, and a nerve. Those are in the center of the ball, and it runs through from the thigh to the rest of the body. According to other Pirushim, those are called nive. Okay, there we go. This is the ball joint. Okay? This is the socket the ball joint fits into. This is it. Okay? The ball joint and the socket together, that's the Bukka D'Atma and the duchte. Here's where it's attached. One inside the other. Center of the ball, there are 3 little strands. The larger animal, of course, they're much thicker. If those strands are ripped and the joint is dislocated, then again we say that it's a Bukka D'Atma to shof mit duchte. It went out of its place, and there's nivim that we're afraid is deteriorated. If the nivim are only cut, it's really not traifa. But we say i'aku nive. If they're deteriorated, then it's no good. As it goes, if we see bloodiness in the Bukka D'Atma and we test it very carefully and we see that the ball is inside the joint, then it's kosher. If the ball is outside the joint, we don't check to see if it's the akul nivi or not. So again, according to some, the nivim are the sheath of tissue which holds the ball joint together with the spine. One of the things to be concerned with is the ball came out of the socket. Okay? I told you that sometimes the ball comes out of the socket, and it's because of freezing and thawing. But someone who's not experienced gets alarmed. He sees the ball out of the socket, and he doesn't know to say that because of freezing and thawing. Now, the ball joint at the end of that thigh bone that we had before has a piece of cartilage, like every bone has. Oh, great, here, show me.
Right? No, we just cleaned it really quick.
Nikichapayim is not a person who gets his hands dirty from shilas. The opposite of Nikichapayim. This piece over here, bone and cartilage, all together. It's one solid piece that doesn't fall apart. After freezing and thawing, it separates into two parts, the cartilage and the calcium-laden solid bone. When what slips out of the ball joint is going to be the bone, the cartilage will be still in the ball joint. Okay? I once told someone who came to me with a shaila that the ball is still in the joint, but what's in the joint is the cartilage. So she went back and told the Rav that she had asked before. So he came over and he asked me, show me why you say that the ball joint is still there. So I showed him the piece of cartilage that's inside the joint and the bony part separated from the cartilage. But that never happens unless there was freezing and thawing, because they expand at different rates, and because of that they separate.
By the joint, Rabbi, means the outside nive?
No, not the outside nive. The joint itself, the ball was fully removed from the joint.
This part right over here?
Not this part, the part below it. This is the cartilage, but the cartilage and the bone are like one.
Mm-hmm.